Well, the wait is over. This is Nintendo DS.
When the Nintendo DS launched, handheld gaming saw many new possibilities. A double screen with touch interface seemed like the perfect combination for many genres, and especially the real-time strategy. Where the Game Boy line lacked proper controls, selecting and controlling your unit should feel almost natural on the DS. So when the system arrived, I expected all sorts of RTS ports, but man was I wrong. Most DS games rarely used the touchscreen, and RTS fans never really found their way to the platform. However, we did get some really nice games for the system. Let's have a look. Let's start this off with some classic RTS franchises, because how can you ruin a great franchise, right? I was excited to find there are two Age of Empires games on the DS platform, the Age of Kings and Mythologies. Both were made by different developers, but designed by Ensemble Studios, which made the originals. Unfortunately, both of them are turn-based. This means you set your unit's parameters, decide the day ends, and continue to the next step in battle. So actually, these are not RTS games at all, but I just thought I should cover them because they are part of one of the biggest PC RTS franchises that exist. If you want to play a game like this on the DS, just keep watching. Like Age of Empires, most classic gamers are familiar with the German Settlers franchise, which is originally called Siedler. Settlers has all the elements of an RTS game, but feels more like a simulation game. I own some of the original PC releases, and they really weren't my thing because of the slow pace. The DS version is even worse. The scrolling and the menus are really slow, and to me it feels like you're emulating a DOS PC game on your DS. It feels like a lazy port of Settlers 2. On a positive note, I must say that the game enables you to do pretty much everything you could in the original Settlers game. And at first, the quirks this handheld game has may seem small, but when you get deeper into the game, they get very annoying. If you like the originals, this might be acceptable for you, but if you're new to the franchise, then good luck, because there's no tutorial or practice mode, and the manual is very limited. Robocalypse is an interesting RTS game, but also very basic. It follows the classic story of robots that go out of control and have an appetite for world domination, which is probably the most original story ever. You can train heroes and troops, but you can't select a number of units at the same time. Instead, you use an action button to move all the troops to a certain spot. Unfortunately, this game is filled with lame missions where you have to destroy something before a number of enemies have reached it, or for instance, where you defend a number of oil rigs until the timer runs out. So I never really finished this game, but levels where you actually have to destroy an enemy base seem scarce. On the plus side, you do have a cool hero unit that turns enemies into refrigerators for a time. However, if you want to destroy things properly, the game does offer a multiplayer option where you can battle against AI too. But admittedly, either I suck really bad at this, or this game is hard considering its target audience. Probably both. The game had a WiiWare sequel named Robocalypse Beaver Defense, which was a tower defense game with mixed reviews. Was because, well, you know, WiiWare. It's not hard to see where Command & Destroy took its inspiration from. From graphics and sound to the name, the game is a throwback to the first Command & Conquer games by Westwood, and that isn't a bad thing at all. You have two factions, humans or aliens, and where Robocalypse had a pretty good tutorial, Command & Destroy does not. Maybe because the game expects you to be familiar with the PC game it tries to mimic so bad, and to be honest, if you've played the CNC franchise, you'll feel right at home, but to say you love this game would be an overstatement. The game takes some interesting graphical liberties. Structures go down with heavy explosions, which can damage infantry badly. The explosions go on for quite some time too. Check out this demolition truck thingy. Holy crap! The two races have some balancing issues. For example, the aliens race is way overpowered until humans get launcher tanks, which seem to have no weakness and inflict an insane amount of damage to your infantry, tanks and buildings. This is where the game's difficulty suddenly shifts from being too easy into batshit crazy hard mode. Many of these RTS games feature an option where you can reverse the top and bottom screen with the press of a button. This is so you can maximize the use of the original DS bottom touchscreen. And this game proves the DS is perfect for this kind of stuff, but unfortunately not much more than that. The two races are not balanced very well, and the game lacks a good multiplayer option. Apart from that, this is the closest to the look and feel of Command & Conquer you can get in your DS. And if this was all you had back in the day, I'm sure you could easily spend many hours on this game. But in general, I'd call it a nice proof of concept. While I didn't expect a LEGO game to make it into this list, this one is actually pretty good. It combines the building and attacking features you would find in classic RTS games with heroes like in the later Warcraft games. You can tell the creators played a lot of Warcraft even by reading the dialogues. The game has a lengthy single player mode which has 6 campaigns with 3 acts each, as well as a skirmish mode. While the base building features aren't too advanced and do not add to the replay value, the game and its story are fun enough to keep me entertained throughout the campaigns. Where the first LEGO Battles was a pretty great RTS, the second game, which is called LEGO Ninjago the video game in some regions, is very different. This game focuses more on your heroes and less on the base building aspects. While this calls for interesting gameplay, I would not call this one a fully fledged RTS. Ninjago is more focused on a specific set of characters instead of building an army. The engine's AI really shows its flaws in this game. Your units will often get stuck or do not seem to know how to get somewhere. The full motion cutscenes are a blast though, especially for the younger folks that like the Ninjago franchise. The Anno franchise goes back to 1998 with Anno 1602 on PC. Anno 1701 Dawn of Discovery for DS is a spin-off of the series and should not be confused with Anno 1701 or Dawn of Discovery for PC, which are two entirely different games. Anno 1701 for DS might be the best RTS on the platform. It's the perfect combination of Age of Empires and Settlers and has a nice pace, but it's hard as hell. The combat system is there, but not as advanced like some other RTS games, but that's not why you want to play Anno anyway. The game has all the features of the console and PC counterparts, like exploring new islands, growing stuff, building cities into various stages, and trading. If you're new to Anno, you may become stuck every now and then, because some mechanics are not explained very well, which is quite frustrating at times. Anno Create a New World came out 2 years after the last game, and is in many ways an improvement over 1701. Everything controls smoother, the graphics are improved, and the added cinematics are a nice addition to the interesting story. The game really uses the possibilities of the DS to the fullest. You take the role of the son of King George, you explore to find fertile lands to satisfy your people, and once you head south, you discover the Oriental culture which you befriend to learn new technologies. However, when the Sultan is kidnapped, war seems inevitable.
Dear brother, there is no victory in war. There is only victory because of loss. Trust me, William. Sometimes peace comes through the sword.
While the story is nice and each level brings something new, most hardcore fans on the Anno series are not a big fan of this one, because it's a lot easier than 1701 and seems to be targeted towards a younger audience. While I feel this game has all the interesting features of the original game and adds some, I have to agree that it's not that difficult. If you want to get into the series though, or if you're new to the genre in general, this is a great game to start with before playing more complex games like Anno 1701 or similar offerings on other platforms. Out of all the existing franchises, I have to say that Anno is the only one that truly succeeded in releasing a good game for portable machines. Starlight was a homebrew fan remake of StarCraft on the DS. It looked good, but unsurprisingly, Blizzard shut it down. Ninja Town is a cool little tower defense game, but instead of cannon towers, you build houses that hold a couple of ninjas with a variety of skill sets. As each wave of enemies comes in, your ninjas will try to fight them off. There are also special buildings that increase the ninja's stats. If you get in trouble, you can use a special weapon where you choose a direction and blow in your microphone to slow down some of the bad guys. Luck's Quest is another pretty great tower defense game that gets pretty tough quickly. You fight off a clockwork army, which are basically a bunch of Viking robots. Each level gives you 2 minutes to surround the thing you protect with walls and cannons before the wave of enemies comes in. During that attack you have to plan your time well by repairing your structures, but also by attacking some enemies on your own. You can do this by brawling straight into them or by using magic spells. This is a nice diversion from other tower defense games. In 2017, the game was re-released on Steam, PS4 and Xbox One. That will be all for this review. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Do you agree or disagree? Did I miss something? I'd love to know. Thank you for watching, be sure to follow and subscribe, and have an awesome day. Cheers!